Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Jerry Custon, Upper Tampa Chamber of Commerce. And our last guest is Patrick Baymont, who is going to be talking about a lot that's going on in Pinellas County and with the Chamber of Commerce and all this manufacturing. UTBMA, what is that all about?
Upper Tampa Bay Manufacturers Association is we are the concierge for manufacturers.
Oh. Okay.
It's the West Gulf Coast region of Florida is actually the largest manufacturing in Florida. There's 94,000 jobs. It's so many jobs, people can't believe it. And the wages that they pay are much greater than the average job. The good thing about it is for people who are young coming up, the average age on the shop floor is 56 years old, so they have hair like mine. And so there's a great need.
Wait a minute, look back up there. The average age is 56?
56. Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
We call that the silver tsunami.
Yes.
The silver tsunami. I love it.
But it's not just the shop floors either. It's also the owners of the companies.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the things that we try to do is because of different trade agreements, a lot of people, especially parents, think that all the jobs went to Mexico and China.
Right. And
there's this tremendous need, and it's actually skilled labor. It's not like what you saw years ago where people put a tire on a car, and that's manufacturing. Incredible skills needed: computer skills, math, reading, the ability to do drawings, computer controls, etc., like that. And it pays very well, and there's a longevity there. But unfortunately, for about the last 20 years, manufacturing kind of got ignored by all the leaders of the communities because they thought it took care of itself or was gone. And so what we've done is, with Jerry's Circle of Love, as we call it, we bring all the resources out there, all these different silos. And all these different resources, we bring them right to the manufacturer, and then we help them with what they actually need. We don't come with any preset agenda. We like to call them round to it's. Those little things that you run this company and you've always wanted to get round to doing it, round to it.
But you never said it as a priority.
And you just can't do it. And some of them are silly and some are incredible.
Sure.
We work with a medical device manufacturer, and they have 3 different languages on their shop floor, so the procedures can be difficult. So they said they want them in different language, and they went to the FDA, who makes it impossible to get them in 3 languages, to have them linguistically certified, et cetera, et cetera. So they jokingly said, what if we did pictures? And the FDA said, yeah. We found them people to do that.
Really?
Yes.
Just take pictures of their procedures and lay out the pictures of the procedures.
Well, hello.
And then they got around to it.
And they got around
to it.
They
got around to it. I love it.
Yeah. There's so many out there. Instead of coming like some of the government groups, they have these programs that they want to place upon manufacturers. I think that's what's going to help them. We find what the manufacturers really need. A lot of times it is looking for skilled labor, so we bring the different groups together. We help with education. Jerry's on a variety of boards for this. I'm on the board of the Science Center, where we're putting manufacturing training. We work with Career Source. We find interns. The local colleges have all these kids who want to be interns, but the colleges don't know who the manufacturers are.
Oh.
And the manufacturers don't reach out to the colleges.
So you're connecting the dots here.
Exactly.
That's why we're a concierge.
Yeah.
I love this.
You know,
and who knew? Did you know? I mean, think about that. Do you live in the Pinellas County area? Who would have ever thought that this is happening right in your very own county, in your hometown? You know, if you're a business owner, if you're a manufacturer, you know somebody that is a manufacturer. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing stuff.
Well, most of our manufacturers are 50 or less. And, you know, the reality is that, like Patrick said with the silver tsunami, these individuals, the owners, know their business inside and out.
Sure.
But they're trying to be the CFO, the CEO, the HR guy, the IT guy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff they can't get around to.
Right.
And that's why we're trying to say, wait a minute. Step back, look at your business. Mm-hmm. We'll bring somebody to it that can get it. They'll be expert in it. It'll be done. Then you can go on to something else.
Yeah.
And that's all we're trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is one of the biggest benefits of being a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That's what I tell you, I love interviewing you and what's going on in the community so that business owners out there can be brought up to date on what's happening and how they can engage in the community. And going back to building relationships, which is your favorite thing to talk about.
Well, this is actually we're doing is the opposite of the chamber. At the chamber, we have mixers where people come
Yes.
to and they meet each other.
Yes.
With this, because the manufacturers don't get out to do those kinds of things, with this, we're bringing those people to go to those mixers to them
To them.
for individual things rather than group things.
Yes. Yes.
So it's actually we're just taking the strength of the chamber and make it the strength of this organization.
We have a company moving down here from Minneapolis, and they had this circle of services that they knew they were going to need. They didn't know who to go to. And when Jerry showed them our circle, they're like, that actually is every single circle we have. We're just going to rely on you to help us with this company.
One-stop shop.
That's
Yeah.
exactly who we
That's who we
become.
wanna be.
We want the owners of the companies to get off the computer and get off the phones and search.
You know, we're hooked into the workforce development people, the career source agencies, the staffing agencies, basically the economic development people who have the grants and incentives, USF who gets into patents and safety and things of that nature. So that's where we're one stop no matter where you want to go, whether it's incentives, whether it's workers, whether it's developing new products and services, whether it's increasing your your ISO standards to produce things according to new technology standards. We do it all.
See, most manufacturers, what's great about them is the money that they get comes from the outside the community and stays here. So the more we help the local manufacturers grow, we actually bring a lot of money into the community that way.
Just like tourism.
Yes.
Just like
Except
tourism.
manufacturing affects the utilities and the roads and the education with the tax base. So they help promote it. And the more the manufacturing we get them involved, the more they get involved with education, the more the jobs are going to be there. And there's actually an underemployment right now in manufacturing where there's not enough skilled labor in the Bay Area. That's what's holding it back.
No kidding.
No kidding.
And the manufacturers feel they're probably at about 60% of their productivity, possible
Because
productivity,
they cannot get enough workers.
enough skilled workers.
Skilled workers. And that's what makes the difference, because that improves your quality assurance with the
Right.
businesses.
Well, it's so much more technical now. If you're just doing like the companies that make the hoods for restaurant to bend all the aluminum and everything else, you actually have to know basic trig to be able to bend correctly to get all the angles.
To what?
Yes.
What did you say?
You have to have basic trigonometry skills to do all the bends correctly in the hoods when you're doing the angles, so you do it correctly.
Oh, wow.
You don't
And-
think about those things.
No, you don't.
No.
You really don't.
No,
This-
and it's really shocking as a study came out a few years ago that said the average high school senior can figure out the inch and the half inch on a ruler, and that's it. They don't know what the other markings are for.
Quarter inch, eighth of an inch.
So
Are you serious?
Serious. So how do they convert that to a micrometer and a caliper? And so we really try to work. The education leaders come to us and they say, what do manufacturers want? And manufacturers go, we got to tell someone this. And then we bring the different politicians to the groups, and we work with banks so they can help work with the manufacturers, work with the employment groups, everything. We work with ex-offender groups, the veterans groups.
Wow. I want to know more about this. This is really exciting.
Well, I was at a Florida Department of Education panel in July, and they asked me to be one of the panelists to talk about what does industry need out of education. And I told the educators there, I told them the third thing they want is you. The third thing they want is the name of your diploma or your degree. The first thing they want is a person that will show up for 40 hours a week and work as part of a team and be able to communicate person to person instead of having to use their fingers on a cell phone.
Thank you.
Okay? That's the first thing they want. The second thing they want, he already mentioned, they want these aptitude skills that are, adoptable to things. You better know that math. You better be able to know those conversions. You better be able to basically use a computer, okay? You better be able to, what I call, use computers to make other computers do work.
Sure.
Whether it's robotics or 3D printing or CNC machining, and you better understand the basic functions of electricity. How many times does something go wrong and you don't think about the fundamental thing? Well, go back and put the plug in and it'll work, So they want those kinds of things first before they worry about that diploma or degree.
Sure.
Because if you're not going to show up and do what you're supposed to do, you're of no use.
Exactly.
So
And the other great thing is for the young kids, if they get out of high school and they start to work in manufacturing, I always tell them, kids go to college every day and they end up going for like 5 years. No one says 4. Come on, let's be honest. You partied 1 year. And they have 60 to 80,000 in student loans. They get about 25 to 30,000 in your job afterwards. Well, if you go to manufacturing, you show the things that Jerry talks about. There are all these apprenticeship grants, and the companies will help pay for the grants, and you come out 3.5 years later as a certified machinist, and you're making about $40,000 a year. You can go anywhere in the United States, you're certified, and you have 0 student loans.
Nice. That was worth this whole hour to hear what you just said.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. And this is right happening in our community, right here in Pinellas County. So you can find out more about it and get a hold of you to
Well, we're here to
pick
help.
your brain. I mean, I could sit and we always bring such great
that's all we're
guests.
doing.
I know, raising the awareness and letting people know what's out there. And gosh, that is. I'm still stuck on that ruler thing.
It's a little scary sometimes.
So you're basically reteaching in a sense.
I took a school board member who, basically was into a manufacturer because she wanted to see herself as a Hillsborough school board member. Took her over to a manufacturing shop. She's walking around, everything's orderly, everything's getting done. And she says, nothing here looks particularly hard. She said, you're telling me our students can't do this? She says, yeah, they don't know how to measure. And she says, that can't be true. She says, we have these engineering academies and everything else, and I don't see anything here that our kids can't do. He says, you're right, there's nothing here our kids can't do, but they don't know how to do it. And then he took her over and then started showing her the micrometer, and I'm not doing this to a 1/2 inch, I'm doing this to a 10,000th of a millimeter, okay? And she go, whoa, okay.
You're leaving me perplexed. You really are. It looks like it's time for us to say goodbyes, but thank you once again for bringing such great guests and enlightenment in our community. So continued success with what you
thank you
guys
very
are
much.
doing with
Yep.
the Upper Tampa Chamber, and I will see you next month.
Next month,
Same time. We're the 4th Wednesday of every month.
4th Wednesday of every month.
Every month, Upper Tampa. In the meantime, thank you for joining us today on My Chamber TV. I will be back with you next week featuring another chamber. In the meantime, God bless. Have a wonderful week.